Ekioge. Ekioge.
Ekioge. Yetierie Kenya. Ekioge gotieria Ekioge Kenya.
Usiano cia sobere tengo nyara kobango kwaligania se tukunyara koba tugutira ni kera ndi nukwige no konene nga umuntu rengo mungeno renge tajire ko Sulemani alenga tabanga Ekioge ni okegotiri Ekioge se Ekioma ni okegotiri Ekioma kenna boy go muntu agotiri umuntu ndi aigada tuni chikuya kobango kwana mangana ndonsi atatu mangana atatu agochikole ntomona Alfred Arita uyo guchiko kwana mona intulero igaru mulikiwe bitabu mukwani no mworo kali bintu binde bire binge kuchara ko kwaga to mangana mangi kato chikuya kwa kuli kumanya mano ngere ningo lakini ndara kuira abantu kora kunyolinga gokunya ko bamona intwe bakunya kwibolinga bamintu binde bina kabitengere karo kendo ku watch kurwa se sofa set yao karo kende ni gali more karo kende ni gora America karo kende ni gora Australia or Europe ndonya kwibolinga ke bina bera banganya mirole go se gode Nairobi go se gode Nakuru go se ni gode Mombasa oya te konyora asi go konyara ko bago tega nijiringa netinyara konyora kalimo asingo nyara ko bagi nkwagacha kole bintu byane menyo muchi onororo kozakora kere ntuge bintu byane lakini to kunyolinga to base go cyandika mono we sumbu umutunga kyo konyara ko bakonyora sai kiyagera living properties ni go bago tokanyisa mu giti ya kitengera nabarabu igasi yabone riyu mangana yemigondera bamanyete bona bakonyara ko bago konyanga kyo konyora umugondo of 50 by 100 kibese cyo kubantu gutora ko bako itsona 700,000 ikinjya gusinya konyora bas boneka ndo badakora nekegana bako kandoro imigondo ya severete babatele Show Gardens phase 1 ikaira yonspi bona to ko ngore Show Gardens phase 2 ine migondo ka road nyinse mu giti ya kitengera na Manga Road karo kirikeye cyo soime nyara ko bako kanyora bono tindege tyo cyandika mono kuri yo nyago cyandika no inamba yabo yesiminere ga bakire simi namba yabo ni 0746499499 babugiriye simi ndi banya ko bagatebinga yimigonde berete oge ndonyore plot ya unyara ko kwaga chokora bintu yabunoganiti kuyambora reka roko yaga kirega ndeke ni kubeka design yabunoganiti tubase ko tigumaye babugiriye simi namba yabo ni 0746499499 unyara ko bago ko gamba mana barabo unyara ko bago kumanyamanga kuko ari ngene somugene ni wiri tukolera ko Mr. Alfred Arita kare sana somoro wiri tukolera
Biamano Sorobi.
Biole.
Biyande mano.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Matuka mangi.
Matuka vera mangi.
Baidega ndanda batamanyeti. Kada lonje tege tabe kyane gatangani quest for personal growth. Kato denchira gotira. Kurugusi. Wocha Nairobi. Okante you need to do another book.
That's right.
Ekatabe ko maximizing your skills and talents. Nai wansugumet. Badanga gitere kama kaya. And you know what? Go kwa beti introduced to wocha sende gotira as Fred Gek.
Yes. Fred is my mentor actually.
Yes. And Fred Gek ndio isana sinega tunya kwato kwana mangana mange lakini nataka tangambia mono kima asogo chakaiga meda ndo batanya kokora ba kokora tu social media ogocha kwa kwanga the elephant in the room azo kwa njiri skaju njiri kiro monta kwe bachira aya no gochitugeka gwachitumbororo abantu bakona but I like the way abantu bako interact ukona the topic bakwana ndire kwa ndete ayande nale kwa ndete bukara tanga monene na atigire monene onene tingiro ni topic jinga bunechi karibu sana who is Alfred Arita?
Asante sana Sorobi kwanza digante venga Biamano. Ngoko watching sana. I do watch you a lot.
Thank you.
Kuruma tu ayo kwa program jiri ya COVID jitu abarage satwa kwana. Ntora umbira na kuliria. Though we talk. So kwanza congratulations. Yara indojinga you are growing very fast abantu bakubutina bangi. I really love what you do.
Thank you.
So wana kubwate kana niliswali yao. Arita no morandia. But before that I gonna morandia nchi sitanyamira. I was born in the great county of Nyamira, Asagona West Mugrango. As a Chiru village, Nyangena. No neighborhood. Tataring money was be primary. To Arengevatano, Amura, Namuyakoyomo. That's where I grew up. Growing up in the village was a very interesting, a very interesting experience. Goki, Lokorabanto, and Waguji town. Waguji, Wamura, Wambara, just growing up. And so, just like any normal child, working with ambitions, one day, Nanjinki and Begento. That's where I grew up. Gasoma, Chirunji. Actually, in Abandami, the Basama Chirunji, my father went primary, deputy, Girigiri primary, still within West Mugrango. So, and I said, Mambia. Mara, to Timbaka, Toga and Girigiri. Abandon the Guru Manete. So ngasoma roko class 1 up to class 7. Ona made within the quarters. Alafu nkarua ro my father got transferred to Kianungu, still within West Mugrango. Born as a head teacher. So kagenda ro. That's why I did my class 8 kuraro. Nkagenda Actually, I got a first time, my father got feeling, I think maximum. I passed. I was the 446. Musa agana ina maximum ke. I don't want to me atan. So nkairo or nine. Kenairo I think the man ya menta maximum 22, and 460 that was number 1. Kagenda Sawagongo High School in Siaya. Kenairo Sawagongo High School in Siaya to kabera for Form 1 and Form 2. Malaria yango sana. Malaria yange nseme sana ngakiyo. Ponya kile mutinyi ndwarite. Kile mutikiri ngakindwarite. Bakamwa the andu suwaro. Kenairo suwaro. That's my first disruption. Nkarusunga irunka. School yanka liro gesiaga secondary radia taliala nanka. Yange day school that back then. Nkanza kubeya masomo. Twengili brother yana tuanga be Sawagongo actually. Guru Gilbert yokumbwati. Era karusu Sawagongo akaru Nyambali. Guru mwaka njingiri rudangi Nyambali. Na chibesa nini. Wano leni ngambo guru lima somana kaza kwa nanzi. Aya one Form 3 kega Form 3 na angry day school. Kero jokuru mogo embuleko tuzi, you know. Ngairu siku Nyaikuro. Nyaikuro manyetesa Nyaikuro sidi alia. Ngairu arebode. Kagenda ngabera ro for Form 3 and Form 4. I didn't really love education so much. Nyana ambire koroso school satoro secondary. I didn't put effort. Njiro mundangu mungaini. But ngabera ngakora nganyore C plane. Tinchi tukana university. No matter na kora masomo, igama kongitinga pa. Yani na mizi university njo monto muge. Nobody expected that. So nkaruka nkamwa let me go look for life. So basically ngarua ronga cha Kisi town yalia. Ndara cha Kisi town. Ngaraza kwa biashara biketi kalia, si tunyojiru walia, akaduka yaga house yange school walia. Kia si there school gore primary yalia. Ngajake ka biashara kasini by then omwa ko minto nyori retire bwana ngingo gore school 96. My father retired in 95. One mwa ko retired is 85 years, so retired for 30 years. Kirari ta basi kawa chinkong wake. Ngachakora biashara ko ni mesi alia ngo ni biscuit. Wana mama zona abugate Sorobi. Inko ni bindonga njite. Ona ko ni biscuit. Nali nusu. Nali nusu. Na oni nusu. Bikabe challenge. Oko ibya ko Britannia. Ngwanga tikandi bidano byoka. Ona ngakora kingarwa ro ngara ebibiko wake. Nyane mesi nyoko na mesi ona jira bana nukolia. Ebi harbe kabari bigasinya. Ngarwa ro ngana Kisi town. Kinde Kisi town is when now it hit me a key. You mean my classmates proceeded to the university? You know why I do a lot of talks to young people? Because of that experience. I did very funny jobs within a very short time. Otege na mbele batagi ngora na ngora ndebi ngakore asiye kinyozi. Taliko ingera. Oteneleskali de bandonga injuma amo ingeru na ukomi. Umontago ngero na mzini na ukomi. Ya asiye nkongo na
Gwandole wangu. Ngayode kinyozi isiko. Chinde rumogi ingerwe. Wono monda kanyora kwa banga kiyo ro mondo bega chinde bune janga ko matabenga so ama.
Wansa bagosimo matana hapa na baraba kongo ya mushiyo inkiona ngeru gwandora. One, it was difficult, but sometimes it will work.
Why we come?
Na we come.
Aene go le market.
Jene market.
Yomun.
Na ko yange sabi lidu. Bongo kongo sana. And I tell people ngatu akalile keteli ali market. Chisiringi 7. 1997 that was a lot of money. Okoli keteli ali chisiringi 5. Abakato chisiringi ne ngoli singi 3. That was the lunch throughout. That shaped me. Kitakubolinga mobeza ko endera ya. What will happen? Alafu ngarua ronga kaenda kwa yango ya nega sinke nyomba kidogo. Abwate ngombe na gajina na kama na jinsi yaga. Limungana jege jara bwana ngamba ko na jege jara. Part of what really formed. You know my how I came to what I am. Those experiences really shaped me. Ngarua ro tukatinyana yango ya nenga kide munyara ko biasa kai bachibesa. Anko baka feeling ninje na rusi. Njitiri mu ndo ntanya kwa Sorobi tina ko biasa chimonto. Tato mindazo metinga kalindo biao. Njitimbuka tina ko bindo biabantu. Alafu ngarua ronga kagenda jakole wakibiko derangi. Alikisi alia na akibiko derangi. Kabisa na wakibiko derangi gali mbadilika na dia na ali negero ngo wakibiko derangi alia. Abantu baro bakabona igabandi bamayetu anyara barabu emyaka iyo. But wono bia engineering ngo muge yake kera na kasoma akorika seti na soma. Montago jo maite kosomeka seti tu discuss gazeti. Amana ko nango engage Facebook ali na jakete kare. Tu discuss amangana ra ile ngaki yo jono baba na my God rest his soul in eternal peace. Na tu discuss bwana mangana ga si asitindi yet. Ngarua roro nganyara mundanga nga ga churu ga ayo bongo bwa mbali bwa vikoroto. Montaga de body one day. I got churu wa tiko shine vikoroto. Bongo bwa window shining people's minds. And ngene ndiye thinga from shining people's shoes to shining minds. Ngarua roro mundu nakang'ancha kangira kambika pool abwathi pool iberenga chaka kora pool ya Kisi town bara ya twisted pool bar ambele bara yamanye baga to watch ngabera ninjina agore game mwe tu agore amsini game ngaki hiyo and they were very new in town the game ade waka sana pool yonda roiga indo mokali sana the pool ngake ya indo mokong na jage to kumanye 1998 kabera rongrira mangana ko kale vintebia nyumba jiria ngakana ati mwende ko ba
ndiga ngore kano
udone bari na bagonyo maru ali ujende bagonyo vintaria bintu biko kole karia ndimona experience ke mwaka ndaje daria abwathiri busabini alire bonus yago jaringa bona ngabae bona ngakaigero monto kumbe abwathiri muka cash inyaro kensi nini kanyaroka sini akajira chance within a minute so even though nari getting boli kiki okimubona boro boboya ngakana ngayaya bona luckily kingwera nanka ngachaka go feeling emptiness you think I need to find something else I need to timba soja kana tingi college lebo bokomubona ngakiyo my father batizara ngira college and that's why I tell young people bante gara ko bwatiliba go gosoma tota koike omisi university wanzo jaka janda be nane ngire college so ngakandaka impukate rango na umbolivia inambire ko nkanza kunywa maru ali ngamba usarika nywa maru sigara ali kunywa ali na basaye but there was an emptiness a bit of I didn't know it was a bit of depression then mata depression moto nganga depression tu anya wa stress ali kenyoro na usibe kenyanga ali lakini kumbe ni depression bono limo yanki impukate rango na akibano ngokora indua abantu baje bakandandia bani ba 70 day and may God bless them bakandandi sana amarage day abankali bakaje bakandandi sei toto sarandiri kanisa madam PhD nyuma ya itumo rondi CSD amuntu catholic ona baje bakandandi bakabanda muro kora no muntu mungaini ole tewe tukuta na maruwa enju ono buya kibanya kondandi okay bayo mpasude ninjo ine kanisa yabo they were not even by kondandi mono ngale ntoliki baro nani nga inju so ekani bari bona mama tenje zona dagete kanisa na dagete they gran konya nkoroge gichenju bwabwana but then I thank them kiarampa am provoked kero baso ko botukobu that particular night inga feeling lakini banda wangi kibaruji miane njidaro chwa nga kijana hivi dokoro kunya marua indevia maruta lintu bia hivi
kabuli kiki kibaruji miane ndaro
bono kiki bano bakaroji bono miane kunya ndimo I remember umungina monte bire nyori news gara nyisi vete nyodanga tingu sana angani kijana ikini kiki watari ya sigara echuti sigara echi mate gansi nyuma ite gansi nyanga izani mungino yo data igikandora ngatuguta boni ndivyo sinya kompoli miane ingikando bakora miane bano nyindama that particular night ngabeka marunza sekitanda nenga lero mwana sana that night nisa inkonye abantu baruri ndamanye dime that was 1999 early that night ngasaba for 5 hours I didn't know ngasaba ngalero mwana sana. The next morning abantu bali bayo sabe kanisa italinya jiru PhD nikiru mayanga brother bayo sawa sana na bangete kira bali wakiliyo sana naka bali ba wakiliyo ya mu wakiliyo kwa nyasa ya raire mambi yanga bajoin ngasa wakiliyo baro kurueligo tukuchaka ko tokosoka tuwasaba for 2 years naka sabire gali every day I'm telling you bono nyasa kama bongonya kulwabu mwaso no olenga kokoro nyasa mukonya no mwaka kumukotula era ande binga kijana I can see God's call on your life. I told you about it. Menye na injera tole deiga ngabatiso ngaja ko mentor. Yani injino magani. Abanona banyora bara but inchenga some bibire within few months kabere back to back.
So baka mwe wana wako.
Nani ngaja yani tinapata ndoke na yasoma. Bibiri yoka throughout na kusawa. Bono ngabaso knowledgeable within nyasara kunkwana sana. I used to see dreams nyasara kunkwana nkora andia sana nkora ndi meeting inde kirasi. Bono na alinge very close no manana. Indenka. Na ndabona ndo nganjete nanjite ngatolgeranga ngabana Bible. So alinge between church na kwanya Bible bane ko bakonya ko wat chinko ko ndo billions bibiri bike ko bagiye bagaroche ko bakeregendo. Chinsiyaga kolema gosimeka. Bono they were very happy with me. But timbetikeka. Kabera mwaka yo 1999 yabonga na 2000. 2001 nikagenda Bible school. Abantu Bible yani umuntu atolike bwana ngamatoka miyake bere yo kana nukire Bible school. Ta kora araba. Pasta bagane ngano mimi ndio pastor na no mukijana yake. Sasa umurangiri. ai kurandikira asa matanga ngurandiki asa matanga ari no abati kurubiya ne basatu ko tua ndaro tua chinko tua tero botuko bakamambi kuba encourage bon kile Bible school na yito discover nginya some bibiri kuma bibiri nganje bibiri sana so bese ngenjo ai no ngoranja ngere ko to challenge mani bibiri nga amangale I really love, that's one of the best I love about what you do bibiri ye abantu bako yetumia kora doctrines, kora bintu bira controversial, but Japan what I love most is characters. I love studying characters. Now my character of inspiration in Nehemiah. Every year I pick one, I study properly, and I go pick inspiration in Kikiran Sumo Mungakoyo better than last year. So Nehemiah this year I challenge. How did one person, Orenge in exile, persuade the king or against now Jerusalem? I can persuade by God's help. Mpaka akatomwa and rebuild the same place by the strait within 52 days. So this year I've been challenging myself. Even the not what you're doing. I can even but I can tell you, even the within 1 year, in your life can be like 10 years. God can give you divine speed, like Nehemiah. In the record time, 52 days, what Nehemiah achieved, every day beyond what I'm the one about 52 years. So that's this year. So in the Bible school, dream killers.
Yes.
And they are very important, by the way. You know, yes, Sanballat, they are very important and Tobias. Kiara anawa kani egente goros ya nyonyene kevye ngegwe egente wari biwo bitu akare anawa kana onobo chinga. But let me tell you, you're already a dreamer when you believe like what you're doing right now. Kerugu egente what you're doing uli shwanga nyasa kwa ile. Never listen. You remember Nehemiah kwa kani ngaki? I will never listen to you. They even call him for a private meeting. Kwa kani ngaki dimbu athingaki. I have no time. Ega asiane is rebuilding. Na ndimbu athingaki chinge. So I have no time to bargain abantu ndi shwanga their motive, their mission is to destroy what I'm doing. So Gerobate a mission is very clear. To buga and Jacob destroy the Navan to ban the Pataro what you say. No corra. Let me take you back a little bit. Talking about Nehemiah. Mwaka baba na tangana. Na engineer rasa. I can be honest. Engineer for long and back again study. Na ni mata wanga tu acha ndeka sana. But let me tell you why I want to bali raya. Ukura wa baba nsingi meko mpaka mpaka Uganda kira study singing to sing arenge superhuman. Na saving to be at what he stood for. Again, don't care about what I mean. Don't know you. Because he stood for fairness, he stood for justice, he stood for liberty, he stood for democracy, he stood for the devolution. Even the people around the feeling so people feeling okay, but you see now, Kerasira, they want to appreciating okay. Montone Maya Tadolingo. Mandela. Omontoyo, he was our Martin Luther King Jr. of Kenya. Because tabuga the selfish interest. No wonder we call him the people's president. Era interest yae, but one of the Arengaro, Sanballat, now I go ping. Kerao pushing into the ring at Tokolega, abantu barinjira abantu bakamorgomo, didn't want Bakamukana Manamavi.
And then you are coming at I to carry more event.
Tali we defend
the kanga diamond mondo kani era denge mamo kwa na mako tabu I think kichoko
ndona mwanjiri tinjibon mono gikunchanda gerongo ranga tayo nyonyana matanga ali mumanye tinga iga tatakeri era agoroka
enero ko bai
agoroka ni signature walk na smile yalia atabuga the problem okwana osakia bantu bakala okora. That is a statesman. Well, we will start about him another day. But we want to back to Nehemiah. So when you have a dream, you will expect, dream killers, resistance. You will expect people to oppose what you're doing. Like in one of here, in Asamatukalia Make record, Nehemiah. So this year, that's what I'm looking. I think Sorobi. Nyasana no kubabu otokonya. Oachivi bintamatuka make abantu baligiri miaka. I believe that. But as an argument kwandusia, na in Bible school. A character, and I was I studied more about and I studied characters. No one I'm really studying about him. So in the Bible school, Ganyoro Monto, Barnabas. very
Bible school kia kwa lingi.
na Nyangori Bible School na jide Pentecostal Bible College Nyangori. I joined 201. So kini Nyangori ina ngide Biblia sana. Njemono endo garenda takwa debi ente kama uya nkonyere ne Biblia. Ni one very proud of it. Tabi, you know, initially I used to na karibu na ungi kibono. Kito school na inga nchumoje ne Biblia. Good news. I never read it except CRE. But kana jito kwanje Biblia kinde Nyangori nyoso maiga. I studied about the old prophets. I studied about the major prophets, the minor prophets. I studied about the apostles. Lakini I got to Acts. Umondo kunga Barnabas. Olokono kunga Joseph. A Levite. Omongwano yo was not even an apostle. Taringe apostle, taringe Movania, taringe Kende. He was simply,
among the 12.
He was not among the 12. Umontolingi behind them. But a contribution here, very significant. Most likely, Dubuga this string a year to but most likely, he was among the 120 Balia during Pentecost. Akwanirasi nini chapter 4. Then chapter chikuwa the isano vesa tutaigo kwane kandi. Ibintu byachira abugati persecution yabaire. Abantu baitiru bali babo still very mattered. Omega jogoro endo chapter 9. Jogoruka asigeta very pivotal yani onyetali yere. Nangabona mundu nga Saul. Konyando bakande Saul nga ya muntu taratulika. Omuntu kitoko bakonya. Akana nga ya muntu nyasa marangeri. Barnabas. So ajarukunga the son of encouragement. One in the kinje gambwata nga pa kinde Bible school. Ngatisa imeani ndo yajanga my call. The rest of my life. Ino de kuma ngana giyuka. Ndo ko a Barnabas. Son of encouragement. Inkamya guru alonga jangende kuna Bafeafrica, which stands for Barnabas Footsteps Empowerment Africa. Yani nga walking in the footsteps of Barnabas. I found it very instrumental. Ama tuko tomanya even now. Utubata barandi abangi. Utubata babani paka bako competing ngo go next. Yani babugate ministry ngo mayango ora go next. Ile yani udume nkongo sana. Lakini nzo sabuga die ngena abantu bakona je encourages. Ndubugate Barnabas bangi. Mandali bara Sorobi jagire. Mundokani kingi yako batiga. Sorobi ndo bate mirende byanyire. Ngiwo jaga tiga ndingi yako ba. Chi podcast je abantu bate mire. We need more Barnabas. Njibone mission yana na reyo. If you want to ask me mission yana in life, my mission is to encourage dreamers. Encourage people with a divine call. Omuntu lupinza na manyiringa na badegendo. Why do I like Barnabas? Barnabas no muntu rekora potential in people kirando bana batamuroji. Abantu bakwanga Mark, Barnabas obubato koboko. John Mark.
Umurilo chida katama.
Ajakatama. Akipenda nalo kumwenga jinga tiga to irana maya. Don't throw in the towel. Let's go. Bono ntokane tie Barnabas. Njabana mission yana is to raise 1 million Barnabas. That's my mission in life. Kuna jageta. If I zakonya abantu bara nyara kwa Barnabas bali ke bitabu bachake studio chiabo bachake biashara byabo bakole bintu byabo I would have achieved. So ngajaka agende kuna Barnabas mungako iyo. Kendo nyongoli yabo na bugate injino morana nange one of the student naso nyongoli ga ngabige kiongozi the first day. Uburi ngumuru jora kiongozi yabo. Ake sabantu batanga noyo. The first day. Throughout ngajaka uru class prefect banga the head of the students won't speak in the college. Already. Nyasaga mawanja injina nyingo na imani the school fees. Ega no musongo for the entire time. Dinga nyusiri.
I was musongo.
Musongo no ina ngoli ga akanganja tuga. I used to na kabira among the topic la na nyogere again. Your fee has been paid. Hey, no month. I didn't pay a coin. I even remember time if you have service school fees. Natigara. Mama boarding I know my fee will be paid.
By who?
I'm telling you a story. One time I remember to you there, Sanyo Geoffrey is one of my friends. Mira Morandia. The class year. The
form of us here.
The class year, in the same class. Mwalimu ajadabanga onye ko bote balance igaya teneno na ogenda andozo bakawara wa na nyingaranzi jingiriti bakumbulinga Arita mbono na Kate na unajua ujalipa nganga ese njondo shuwa nga efi yani ngo kanwiri njini mbade imani and the just shall live by faith and ba ekrasi ke magasaka
Ngate kan bon.
Tiango kani ngatinji tinselri. Ngate mwalimu ngati gandi kenzen committee by next week ya kanire. I say dinga no tinda akana but I'm sure my fee is paid by faith. Kena kwa na yo bantu bagando man of faith. Awanda baselo ngatigara. And by Monday that week it was cleared. Bono nyasaka ngoro bigabo. Bono umuntu akakunugo musongo ndagajaga ne fee yi. Ina then I abande na my thing barabi. Bono nyanga ko school na jitaba no higher national diploma. Uto munda kana suri on speak for first year that year on speak. Pakala paka afia paka pocket money. Miage that.
Ya komanyere.
What I applied on to Master Artistic Foundation to arenga bangi. Inchenga bangi dala gelene ngarki. So it just all to show you I knew God called me because of the provisions He did. They guys, yeah, you know, about this struggle with one school fees people used to pay. You know, you go jiro jega na jiro ntanya go radi denjira Jita African International University. I didn't get to finish in the Nigeria. I went to Park University later. I did a few things in the Nigeria. But the point is, all through, I've never paid fee. But God has provided. So I knew my purpose when I joined Bible school in the ministry. That was a big pastor. Like you know, that very na very Borandia, na very missions in Sitam for many years. Na very senior pastor in charge of the churches in Sitam, 3 of them. But in my passion has never been. I'm not very keen about those titles. My thing has always been support them. That's why when I see someone who has a book, I support them. I midwife the book, Kiasok. When I see people doing something, I pick them up. But I'm going to recently, you support him on the story friend analysis, social media, or the roasted. Because I'm waiting about my vera. But in Japan, in the Kilime, I came about the apology. Ninyoro mundo akukuru bolingo yone yanyo kabisa boliga pants down. In Chinkora, I'm supporting mundo na kormo na mundo change. In Joyta wiki, I know any change is possible. As in using any mundo tell you Sorobi mundo tanyo no mundo ligere tiraroiga. Ota change. You can't give on people. In Jabata, talk about yeah. That is the devil. On your mundo kalmoyo. Na bogo change. In Jibia come no mundo na ringe. I've told you na kanyule sigara bobe na kabuti na osumi sigara bobe. I used to drink. Na ringe mundo ringe mokorobi sana. But ni saga change. That's why I believe in mundo tali ota change. Anyone can change. Jabala gorudia. Kuna Bible school bungarua road and I went now into mission work. Na umira wanta wange. Na kwa nila wanta wange. In fact, I was just counting the other thing. This next year I'll be doing 25 years in ministry.
Oh,
yeah,
25 years.
Yes, I'll be 50 years.
Congratulations.
And I will be 25 years. Half of my years every year I've been speaking and preaching throughout. So next year I'm doing a silver jubilee celebration. I hope God gives me grace. I was counting on man one year because I realized I achieved to over 1,500 schools. Cumulatively, and those are going to over 1.5 million. So my dream of becoming, of raising 1 million champions of hope, because I really believe in as right now, it's not that we don't need even more preachers. We need more encouragers. Sorobi right now as we speak here, mental health issues among preachers is on the highest. They are doing very badly. A ministry is heavy on them. Family is heavy on them. Among finances are heavy on them. So we need them Morandi. I'm with you. I see you. I feel you. Todo mundo de nata venga ali basia de adali marama de Morandi e gasio kora de member ahora kini mutinyo oja. Inge kwendi school fees mano wakane. I really believe in I look forward to a day where I'll be having a foundation. Yoko support ya barandi ko romani no to badi gari ko akinyu ubuga the call for support. You see, taras mo marandi mo ko banga ni ministry ole ama ko store na rai. Kero mo ono yuko bana sifiwe. Ai no marandi unafungwa kanisa. Koma you struggle, but you can be bana basira de korgara. Haringo monto ko kurmaiga. Or support. You remember one time he even sold this piece of land in the Bible to support the ministry.
Bana basina ndomore.
Hey, Bana Basi, you remember the Acts 4, where they shared everything. You know that time?
Yes.
Baka anania safari waja mata bantu baka onyama. Matinga kieria abantu banchaine babwato bwanchaninga tinko gota sayo ga injara. Then they are everything. They shared everything as if it was their Nikian. So Barnabas was one of the guys, he was a generous guy. Mm-hmm. He was a generous guy. He was a mentor. He was a lifter. He was an encourager. Pakabata moroka. Mati little son of encouragement. That is the idea. Abantu morogede. Sino wana iga. Nga Sorobi ore. Atato yengenjo. Asing yenjo ine brand yao. Esigina yao. That is the idea we were doing. But in the video kokara, na bino tuwa montoyo. Nabati into the nyamujani. Kirenga ki is always speak. Kirenga ki anya tilia band. Kirenga ki nabati into get. So trust moment abe bishop mwa ko tuwa impact. Na bako monto mo sinia kanisa maiga. Was supporting kanisa. Lakini kanisa ko levi ntebinene. But you know in our days we think na bakamba sina body title kuna I am Dr. Reverend Alfred Arita. Meko monto. Inje I am proud with what I've done for 25 years. I trust God for the next 25 years. If I can do a few things around the same, let me shock you. I talk to people to be big dreamers. Right now, you want to chase the lion. I'm always having a book everywhere I go. Chase the Lion is a book that tells people, onye ndote yobugate. Terigo ustua. Terigo kugira mulibatuko is too small. Right now, you are trusting God, and I'm sure in the next, and I'm praying for you, for 1 million followers in the next 5 years.
Thank you.
That's what I'm praying for you.
Amen.
But so if your dream it does not scare you, it's too small. So I challenge people to dream big, but I can go surprising. Most of the dreams today, in schools, universities, they are selfish. I'm sorry to say. You see, but Barnabas was the kind of guy nakitoko kora abanta bange batuwale generosity yo support me no monesuke nakitoko sumenjeri. You know, I wish all the dreams were a pilot ntuwale jibesa support me no money. That's not the thing. That's a daktari, that's a engineer, ntuwale jibesa abanta bange ntatoko tingana ntuwale jibesa ntale Dubai according to Vienna. It's about ourselves, unfortunately. But you know, the dreams of old, like the dream of Joseph, it had nothing to do with himself. And that's why Baba is different. This same Baba. Baba had a dream for this country, not for him, but for us. I will that's surprise. I want to right now. Kurobo MP, MCA, women rep, nini, for selfish reasons. Trust you me. That's a very small dream. But if you have a dream like Nehemiah, Nehemiah, take Korara. I can believe Andonga. Nakinda Tuara Mogoko. Nakinda Oka, and Jinguli, the Vinguli, in Tibiro, Nairobi, Falme. As Sokoroji and Jitin the Kid, carrying ruins. I was like that. Most of our minds are nearing, I want to make more money. My dream is about a dream house, a dream car, a dream wife, a dream husband. Those are small things. Because you will die at the end of the day and you have not done so much. But if you can die having raised people that can continue with your legacy, I'll tell you, he will be bigger in his death than in his life. Ask me why. There are millions.
Takiniti ban tekira ko koranga ne kiama kia ko kiamba ko benjira gete karamano roche mo murumu abako be kungana gotenera kankan kia renge konyara bantu bande bakke bane abara barenge kumanya ibintu byarenga ko kwamba koranga nga buno muntu ribate kanisa ole bweka ako genda bagenda
ko na mani kanisa amangana political parties na banga kanisa ji America where konyara monta da banga ki asking there is a lot of interest. Some of the party is a serious business. A party, even ODM, were the biggest party in East and Central Africa, has a lot of money. So, Nandojo within ODM, Baba Bikolenge, Bokobaka, Kobagali, and Izonzi Amo. Kera, within ODM, about the radical wing, the young Turks, the Sifunas of this world, the Babus, Orengos, very aggressive. Who are Balibama thing into we are pro reforms. Otanya go back into the system, but you are fit system. But within the ODM now the band bara a bit conservative, bara accommodative. Balibuna about in government. Yet now but on the followers band Balibanga Jeshila Baba. Bono, Balibago decided in the going next. Balibari conservative, then that Baba. If you look at towards the Baba's days, graduate Moka, you telling his heart was not. And the feeling I can tell you most of it are the blessing ya Baba. Because Togukwana Manganaria, what about the blessing he part leader? But still, Baba left the tension to go on. Tada the moment Baba more engineers, yes. Tada the moment is he for, is he against? So part of his team is for. Part of his team is anti. But I can tell you, I trust ODM brains. They should be able to come together. But at the moment, it was the only immediate, it was just within 3 days. Then there could be no vacuum. So, and a way of mourning the family for the time. But I'm sure they should be able to agree. But who can steer the party? Those are quite difficult political intricacies within the party.
Correct. Kuna tanya kwa tawo kwana mangana mangatura mona Alfred Arita kaiga sumuro lwetu kulia lero. Akulia mangana nenda ko jabanga guchiga but I love the way abwate umuriro no kuguswa konne kiga mangana yani ga kolento bomole. Tima diskali unanga ngyo tetegata kurungi kirego ntoko kwana mona. By the way, bali matranya kwa mogo comment in our YouTube. Kindly give us a like, give us a comment. Nende ko kunyolbonga ki by the way to baisa kweba ko ganda ali see YouTube got notification. Click. Kana to kurugo bokimonde bwayire kwa manyibonga ki bwayire. Ndio tu akinenda kali ko tuwe nchego ya kali batenga boy injo koma yebo kama bwayire wane je ko amanyanga twarugire bintu tokana ago to gusia my friend etingera o to gusio bungaini o to gusia abantu bakwenda mangana kwenda monjorili we ko gari alonya ko click tente batenga bimana bana to turikira chi comment nende kunyolela abantu ngomanyete Christmas ngere mutuga iga abantu muchirusa ngukirego chigo icharaga no bwati bintu byokorarera meda abantu bakorara bo besana yani okorara burangeti bote yo kungusa gucha nende ko jolinga ki wakorere mirimo rara buya twalenga mogaga no mungoro kunga mofit no tebinga ki karokore kiruragere tendagerenge ukorara buya nende ko challenge abantu ngaki onye gukuriga ibintu byokorara mbi basa ko stress ndege tora tema ngo chongo Ngong Road top level sleep well live well karwa chire Ngong Road inchuka rwe kirali greenhouse opposite to baterunga upward genda ground floor yora top level ababa bwati bintu byokorarere ebiya ebintu byitabiru bintu biri byengencho bikorosibwa kuro isikore ndibire biyamono iyo ndiko kumingeri ngomanyete ko gwachire kwa rode gusene duvet wancha gusene getamba wancha gusene gwancha ebintu byaba go bako bitoma across the country ayeno kuba kugamba mana barabu bagotomere bigende class ebegore Kisi ebenigore Mombasa ebenga yobereta no yembali muri America kwanya kumenya imamo minakorara nyakora ngidato minakorara ngakiwara kore no lengere linga koroke no bagorire duvetingi kabisa abantu bakwibisibya nenda kunyoliga mata barabwati bintu tekane bintu binga gosenga 3 by what abako gana up to nyangonya kumanya babwati bintu bire paka biri biko igatana kerikere 8 by 7 edana keri yani mata omonda mata tanga tukora gatano kuboka jinsa moibere you have a long way to go wana kukorente okumumeka paka kyakunanse ndege tanam yokonya wokunyara bekana naga kapete asukura onya kubukora rabi bono teto kwena mbaya yesim nyara kuboko bakera abakunga top level naga tibinga mbali jinse mu Ngong Road mbali jinse mu Westlands sangana Naivas Mombasa rudipe kwamba roro babugiri angesi naga tamba bwati bintu bikoyana bali mu bwati A and B mutete konyo bintu biya ayinchuga iga by the way teto kungaina ibintu ngora danebiya top level ngora rabi kwanze getabakira soft kora rabi korwa unchukane na mangana to yengenje kyo tilio kero bintu bino korara ngoraigo kwanya korota nyoko kogona nabo kogona inamba yabo yesi minigerega 0799 422 559 0799 422 559 ngoya kuboko bakiresi mu top level bakonya nakaba bakwenda kingambanya nakaba kolera mangana mange ibintu binge babwateka teto kunyolinga babugiri esimi okoganda rwanda batenga kinsuro byonto we discount in fact namara to kwanega babwate discount ya 20%. Ayaganda batenga kinsoro byonto ayewe 20%. Ibintu bini byoro bindi baroro bakembiroro kugura kwa weekend. Bona abatalire babugiriye sima bolenga ingikera abo. Agati bintu babwate. Alfred Arita bono kakendo kigera mangana ye yo boranya.
Ye Bibilia
Lakini tie tugutwara kugani kugenda kuba mu pastor
na bedo kana ko rabo kinkuru nyangoli 2 or 4 I was in the class of 2 or 4 tukagraduate kinaroro umwa wasio makanganja sana umwa wasio Bishop Ogende is my mentor kiranga anja kini nyangoli I was among the top 3 that graduation ni mwako yu and then ngata ukoro choche okolega sinanje you know that I'm here at a church ya Nyamira Pentecostal Church and senene so kana ko raiga immediately ngaendaro I worked with him for some time but kindaro nya ko kolega sinaiga ngora nyande matinjene muntu kufiria ngora yona tindaika and I think kero muntu tokera nawe kumanyanga mbia sana kunya kotegesia nga ingintu kibano ngokora inkire ngora yane to nyoko lebintu nya gosia italiyo nkabera Nairobi for a few days I left ngaja Nairobi kenaja Nairobi iga nkabera Nairobi for a few days na ruda ngajanga 2 or 4 ya Nairobi iga 2 or 5 I went to Blanda in Rongai na yote kan Rongai na ngebira aggressive ngayoleka tukakora Nairobi Rongai but it was not easy gara which I can from scratch that in the rise no muntu yakolega sinere nyaranga family issues ya kidogo jinde nkaruwa ronga join sitam 2 or 5 let me join and say stable ni karanze so me I didn't even join ngo senga ni karanze ngamo murandi just join then kwenye nyomire kanyoma ka join sitam bono kinde sitam kare yake kinde nyangoli umurana jitaga to kwandira mangana mission field mwago youth mokire agoruko mission rondieki ndike daga sira ange mission yo PhD ado to challenge mangana missions I think one day ndarakwa I would want to go any mission field menyaroro jake kanisa bono kinde sitam kinde Nairobi kinde Rongai na umiri muswadi wane awanenga no muborana okay muswadi muborana ndega nginjeranga anya ndega madeseito injiri yokurandi ya ushya cyujura ndisita abantu batori kisitu abantu mbarama nyamanga naye alinge moruwandi bikanza ya ina karanda Rongai umathenga jaka mwanja tukajaga go date and a year later we married kimbata maronga marolingo ikiranale
ane kurandi so
engani kurandi so tukana baka so bangaroranga ya baminto na siyo kwani koroko nene ya kwanza ngale bantu mbali uji ya roro raisi so ngatwara moyo sana ne burden yoko ndaro buna nyasa ko lebikona bia injina then injina lebikona sana in my life ubu mabwana bawere too much of miracle after miracle omarani omago nangalinga inyuwete na ko Arita wakor na graduate from Carlisle College on na missions ngante tujiba Valley Road ngayanda Valley Road nto what interview we want you to do the interview ngitinyeledi and they didn't have a degree I can say don't my thing and you're very strict about 2 degree and above kagana got interview ngaita the next thing they win a white ngatumwa ngate to okay internship for 1 year at Valley Road to me masabet kaganda ngatumu ngaiwe gasi konje ngaenda Valley Road area ngakora internship under Bishop Ogende that's where I learned I met some of the best mentors there can say you have to kumba dayamo alia abantu bato berde galia babo joining abantu aba yabato
mentor ya guito ko ngaini
bongai bono nero
ya guito ko ngaini ai
bono I'm forever grateful for that church Kiera okay I've been a member there for the last 20 years both as a member as a missionary and as a pastor bono ngaruwa ronga tumo bono ngaba commission bono ngaenda you na korte gas I served as a full-time pastor koro 2006 mpaka 2013 full-time kiana ngana mission field ngabera ro injina jagite kanisa jiriji masabejia gonga masabet gorokesa injina yachagite Laro is the biggest church to what masabet amuluko randigalia was my interpreter injina mo discover thing amurusisa lengi ngamira Bible school wala nero mo pastor nero in charge there kanile ko matariba marandi ora
tariba na jiro
wajidaro injina gordo bonbulia I bought that land injina gitali injina gaje kanselia by God's grace so amuru inero raro injina momentete nero lera senior pastor so I told you my line has always been mentoring in a chorus one of my joining one of your thing masabet amara bali na garde I kingo ja korandi arro tu garandi botuko kira pastoralist ya bange abakwenda kulikichia amaji chiombe mbego toka moso so bona nakajina randi butuko nakajina karikana bata karina agurukuna Suzuki Maruti nakina kamurikaiga noki enya woga na bediri dagenda na randi butuko ngajanga rwaro barudiga nkonya tukagaja akantu tochaganisa. Today we have learned twabake school rwaro asabu abere center actually omuntu ongeto oli muwekemo no muri mwabo munginona no ganije no sobo
gali no sobo
no sobo gani oli mubo
nachire bakali
no sobo
kumanyanga matari be minute amatoye amatoye
njogo yes
kande goralia I did some photos kurugoralia tunukeligoro ngaonchoka ngandi bakalezanda bakala ba yandikira kusabira kusiningi tunukeralia
tunukeralia
yebono kere abantu bagocha bagenda orobono goranga jidini chesna bachiko ke naba islamu gochibaroro
yes
okay
saka please aka altar get the
shrine
so I served in Sitam but you can masa beti arongo nyako ndaro nyako lega I did a lot of work. I did empowerment forums yana got abantu Nairobi na karete veterinary doctor from Nairobi bacha alia tuakora vet camps, tuakora other medical camps. Abantu bakatolika a lot of young people under by Islam na arandeti. Abantu boni galera very senior bakora one of the boys that I preached to Islam. Learning in charge of Bible translation Africa.
Oh.
Yes, he's been a member of Sitam for long. He was in Park as well. So ngajanganya ko feeling ngaruo kindaro kinimasa bete na rida bugani tani 2010. A to Z secrets of high achievers. Here in my mind, you go serve. I knew my heart in Barnabas. In my ministry in Barnabas. I hope you remember that. My ministry in Barnabas. My ministry is mentoring, raising, and empowering. And
son of encouragement.
That is my main ministry. Bono, no, I am a very good shepherd. I am very good. Even Masabet. With Masabit in Nairobi, I was sent again to Kapsabet in Nandi, from a small church. Today we have a big assembly. So I can do, but if you, I love to tell people, keroko wakia sole in your niche. There you struggle. Kubagwebeka iskaya zakunya uchandika. Abantu bali bantu ngano brandia, oso basta. They can preach. Lakini ngeli ndo kiabo. Bali bantu mama idigenteki. Abantu balisikaya bakonya kungangana bakole ibintu batako bana Sorobi lakini indengire ndo kiabo osini kwao your breakthrough ni gera sela ini yawe ndo getting sako ete and that's very important. That's why for me even now I know people call me nje tuchake kanisa actually mwana nyomba mbade bimbo beyond kanisa kan inda bazo be njake kiregento but I've always been very shy nga timba sako tanga no manene lakini mwana mjene ndebera renga Arita na mwire bana sukirega shaka ijeno mondo ndayale njibano jaga kanisa nero the easiest work on Thomas ide nga jaga kanisa iga o supportiga in 3 months kanisa yabe. So I served I'm proud that I was part of the churches that we planted in the Sitam, but in my main ministry niliyoko rango kore niliyoko ranko nko enda na ikana sana banafunzi na ishide jabo njireji na ba discover na work with them. That is where my fulfillment is.
Kwanange uriga tabe kwa ligete A to Z. Achievers
A to Z secrets of high achievers.
Yes.
Eta we give the form diga. In your Bible, I met so many characters very very inspiring. Ganya kabili kanzi. Have Joseph Narika Kiriento na learning from them. David Narika, Nehemiah, Barnabas, all those Joshua, Caleb. I discovered that these guys did so much. They were just like other people, but they did so much in the Bible. And then in history, I discovered around the Bible the human beings that did great things. How come you live in the same world, same environment, same circumstances, same weather, but other people achieve more than others? What makes ordinary people achieve extraordinary? That's the tagline of that book. Ngazakora research, kinemasabeti. And then I got this revelation. Why don't you make it? A to Z. A to Z is just a creative way of packaging. A to Z. And I can tell you, I was not wrong. Though I ended up selling my car, go print. Another story for another day. I sold my car, go print it that week, but it has done me good. It has sold me widely. And the inspired many people, and later, of course, when I came to do now, change is possible. I've done my goal book. I've done another one called Winning Habits for Smart Students. Okay, wanafunzi go to commenter. I've done another one called 20 Things I Wish I Knew Before 20. And right now I'm dealing with another one called The Pillars of Personal Excellence. So I'm ever writing. Because in wakasabunga inginda alike mambigaro ntayo. Kira adigare and then also Arita believed in this line of thought. So in Japan mambe tinjo, what I would like people to remember before, there came a man, a son of encouragement. Or go encourage dreamers, or encourage creatives. I've encouraged so many people who are giving up. So many families that have been broken up, now I encourage. So that is really my ministry.
20 things I wish I knew before.
Yeah,
20.
I can discover very powerful that the young people success is not for the chosen few, but it's for the few that choose it. Follow in life, but it's for the few that make a deliberate decision to sacrifice, go out of their way, go an extra mile, be committed, and succeed. That's why nothing about the ones who are making a breakthrough, but what is some milestone in life. About go decide, about go make it. So the first thing I wish I knew, maybe I'm not getting or succeed. No, monto you obeying or yera. I went to go foul. It is the few that make the choice. That's number one. Number two, I wish I knew early. Without God, all is just vanity. I wish I knew. I didn't discover very late. You might discover again at all Kingdom 1993, 1999. I wish I knew earlier. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, Sorobi. In life than anything else is to fear God. About the fear of God, you can be sure you'll have the peace of God. You'll be sure God will give you your purpose. God will give you a vision. So you not wonder when you're going to you will do again. You know, I tell people, why are other people happier than others? In a world, you're the same. Even in the book of Acts, in a world, you're very confused. It's because they discover is having, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Then all these things shall be added. We spend half of our life pursuing the command to us. But if I had learned earlier, I pursue God. Now they I can do without me paying. All of it. Now I am a witness. And I tell people, even though how come I am around Mercedes? I can tell you, Timba the best Mercedes. Timba the message. But in the man. But the money again is a and that's I got that car not through a lot of money. Through Mondo. I think I never said that. I don't want one way. Gana but then I get about the best. To it and I go, and you want a man on the was a long area. A single cora. They have a comment of I would want to sing go and dig you, which I have encouraged. Was going to brother. I very part of it. Is one of the miracles I experienced it in my life. If to such a man, been to be over ice.
Stakiri workers, lakini tunachukua abantu bali baligiriti kipindi kabande baseganyire sana. Abande echuanga yababurukaniripi, abande maliogo yo gutindia, abande nababarase babwenda ko babiyera kindi turi koragento gento bagakora. Abandi nabo babwate ni burakini baro cyase yo siyakiri bugocia abantu bari babwate chaos Porque no batulete kwetera se mintebia je bageta na screen mu abo nyumba. Ndeke tora kwa nanga su muntu uli okorongo mwe bwa itaro chigo se maonchiro lina bekiara aleke getabe kya gatanga change sports. Ndeke to nyara ko bogo getabe kantu bakerigereri. Ndeke to ukionchira ngase kamera menya ka bakora. Umuntu nara. Yes. So what they discover the 6 essentials of personal change. Ndeke tora kwa nero umuntu ere bya musambire. yani no nyakari kiriti yani ubugima bwa taruchi yani taruchi yako genda ali sioro libe.
That's right.
Yes.
Kulmaiga umuntu so twa ngindi thinga whatever unpleasant situation you are in right now, you can turn it around for the better. Gentonkeli montali in right now hata change. Umuntu bigo tanyino yotindikira. Agiri umuntu ole moyo boni igere wa mwetinga nintaka change. The biggest thing that I have noticed and what I've written in this book is about the power of choice. Nyasaye in his wisdom akatotonga the power to choose. That's why you chose this place. But you chose this place. Because of choice. Ora era saying either some poor choice get to a maggot or some poor decision that we made before. Almost so when they were self-reflection. We were in Ekioge veranda and then na get you. Kinde 1999 musanga na Misiri University. Timbo at masomo. Timbo at skills. Insaka kende nekanyangegeya na siri njene na kasivire kanyanga sana. So ngatwara a moment of soul searching. Ngatanga obugimabwa nendo is my choices. If I can make the right choices, and one of the things I also write in that one what I wish I knew before 20 is that you only have the power to make a choice, but you have no power over the consequences. Achino bone kenyanga monte yogorugo no molevi. Obalevi bonse bi mundaja kanyunyunga one for the road, two. Ngora yabe yabit. Ngora yaba no nyale bolio molevi. Nyale bolio kunywe sigara. Yaba part of it. So akini muntu sokwa kesabu ngoranga ni intagete help. Na bona you can reach out or Sorobi soli Arita ngarita. Nkwandere, that's why I'm called a life coach. Nkwandere ni intagete coach njo mabugane. Asende tindi buya family yangire, gasi yangire njo gasi na seliwa. Into biyangire. There is no situation that you feel is unpleasant or impossible to change, as long as you have the will. Where there is a will, there will be a way. Of poor choices. Where we are, not because we are any better than them, but I think somehow better choices have contributed. Can make a better choice. I tell people, mondana mbodi monga turusiba naenda sige de monde da ganse kena na bwana umenifanya piga tot da ninga sige de tot ni de gando de bwana ngidini kusiba mbodi, what do you mean mukani yana sibide mwalio 25 years ago na sibide de kiri mwalio ngusibe chai akambuli yani what do you do? I want to receive among you know I enjoy my life a lot. I have a lot of things to do. I take tea. So the thing is, nabogo change. Never give up on yourself. You are useless. Never give up on yourself. And so one bring order to my life. I was in chaos. I was just a young man who was in chaos. Very ambitious, but confused. That's the worst. You're ambitious, but you're in confusion. So, the first thing I would recommend, look for a good mentor or a good coach, of a vulnerable, of a very open. Advice. That's number one. Number two, admitting another get the help. Tabanga ya kwamire osuku mwitharaga na ime abantu bara bajwa jinga yali mayakora yama ugire me yagire mekiri. But that's how most people are. Anjerana another get the help. And
ngama ndo baka to changa maguta. Yama ugoma takakole. Yeah, so na bomo ndago change. Number 3, I would recommend you that way sana. Omondo nyore njero isingi mizano chiyoka. I can send it to any part of this country in 24 hours. Also, because I'm talking about, how do you make quality and wise choices? Talking about how to form healthy habits. I talk about how to develop and cultivate a winning attitude. Okay, life really, Sorobi. Once you watch from here, you begin winning or losing from the mind. On the way, the 2026 in Nigeria, go you can't. Obviously, including Sananga Sorobi, Bantieri, Baba Arita, o changes awe. I talk about it here, the power of association. O changes awe. O changes the big thing. But I want to talk with the Gamaruno on your Tanavale.
to go tiga bintu biri ko anyo ligia chenchia kebute thank you
ekebute na kiama
onyo bote ko enda igoro ne igo karua sijisa uchi chingoko chinyago matorongenza ligia bantu ba ko flada ngana inje
chinduka njire igora
igora rinda ko enda kuchia abantu bani kabena barabu banguse ikonyoro bungaini in 1 year your life can be totally different monto tali oragereri ngerta go chenchia. That's why I insist change is possible.
To namba ya wesi
0721 8487 and 27
kutochi kuri gukora trainings kiri kinyinga sa
yes
kugandole gwa kwana bana ba high school kugandole university kugandole chikanisa n'kinsamo kinyinga ibintu bitatu kwagundole ngayo nabyo ibintu byo kukubyo kyasobogima ibintu bitatu ko bibwate ibina biragera urwasole ogenda state kogenda ibintu bitatu byo koteka tokwana
ibintu bitatu the will to change. Number 1, we go mwinga, I want to change. I want to change my family. I want to change my situation. That's more mwinga, I want. That's number 1. The will to change. Number 2,
otara kana gendo yakabere onya yo manya ni me yagotora itaba no tete ko change asitari ochi
ojo nabona iga
na montali ora akiri wa mwire ngorunda yaruka ya tebere ngo sokere
no koraki ta gwirana ya no na mabeka wazigari agosoka
muntu tebere ngo bota ko bongo borwaninde
K, Sorobi.
No chobe kero muntu chikosi nyatatageti.
The way number 1, kara mwanga njibiga iga ngo chenjinde. Njama witness. The day I say thing aki enough is enough. In the thing one right, I have to change. Even that boy omwe thing aki the Bible saying when he came to his senses adabanga aki inja konya matorongenza. Amatorongenza.
Chimbechema na ziti bintu bikaro.
Tataka wati bintu byose akana ngano. Obo kubwiri ugelimo. Ngojinda mbeka marunzi tata ngamugaga na irandi
endo yakabere.
That's number 1. Number 2 ndokene muntu totwara tikakopa shy kuboli. Don't shy to ask for help, please. In the obo konto bwata banane omuntu obwata o matenga nokana the help but what was gonna think
mango kuolera kini yogire
musaja nganje muntu musaja nganje musaja tingoboli ba ndonga ya kwa sababu kweziba watu nganje musaja ngo kugesaja tikakugesaja body help is the matter mnaboniga right now oa kesi mira obolinga nakinda akalindi kitabu otoko konya enjere rais kubwa kungangana obati kitabu biri computer bia beraro. Don't shy to ask for help bol for injekina kina discovering namba endo yankonyire kana kiro moli oranga endo yasinyire dike bantu bakubuye to bongaini babolinga ke Sorobi
bagotieli
tie ekioge
no monda gotiro mondo dawo kune mechando yao mondo nali mwena jinsi akamwena orako konya.
Number 3, in the good Jabantu P, have the courage to make a move. Let me tell you, Sorobi.
Samba manyinga.
Samba manyinga, bwana. Tabugira so mayuruguna and they go magazine, they chase that lion.
Yes.
Omongwa na leze.
Njonjo le kabantu bakaro.
Chase that lion.
Ngora bulo mwa bakota mago iwete esimbe ikuru abura kiri nyamnyoki.
Esimbe bwa 600 pounds. Lakini omongwa na leze bibiri okukunga Benaya. As I that 7 elite soldiers were David. You remember the mighty men of David?
Yes.
They were 7 elite. Well trained.
Elite abantu basomete
bangaini. Batieri. Bara ko lebinto ke tebira exploits. O monto na mo tele otamanyika ni mono ko Benaya. Osome 2 Samuel 23:20. Ko Benaya. Benaya agete sabunga babo shama baidira abantu. Baba Elias abakore binte bine for the injikita ko stand out. Adanje simbanda ide. Is the only one who killed a lion. Akapoka saa 8 ya mambi. Kerere ensere nkendu diu bokele akaso jingo makali ezimba kaida. Pono indagate courage bineju. Nyesa wa courage yi.
Nyezimba nele wita bantu abantu ko tamwe ngone yaranguji wita.
Era ka tabanga inje no la gore ezimango wita. Akayekora pia ka yabantu iga. You know what happened if you read that story? David immediately, David also had killed a lion. Akamobeka in charge of the rest. Tikanya babera kabona ka kibono ngantu ka kisita ngenjara. Get the courage, rise from where you are. Imuka. God moves when you move. Mate Sorobi, tiabanda beto kumanya iga. Nyasaye to nyabori nyasaye to konye. Ororoka, temana ngankonye ngoso ko jiali. Ojono boroli. Almost you want to be bibilia. Olenge boy your blood.
12 years.
Achandikire miaka 10 ka kinjo.
Nakajiba siachi ajire chinyenge sana.
Victim mentality. Onyo chandikire kiregento. Lakini lifika mwete ngaki. Yani muntu nali zikabu kweni abantu kindega akatika masabo. There's a time we must stop praying and take action. That's another point. if you have the courage to take action. Take the phone. Buli muntu ngayene nyalebe. Njengo kunyalebe iga. Na yu okwana sege mo okwana na Sorobi ige sago sumu to okwana alia mangana ATATO ingenjo. Inta tonkonye. That's a move. If you don't take a move, Montera may get the help. Whatever you're doing right now, oh, I take the moving and taking a step.
Ngaki omuntu akurukuru so kunya kubori atari gakora kende. Abana bari banya wakajisimi. Yakino nekeri yokoma tebete gakora kende.
That's the point. Bwana ina bwana bako.
Kunya kuboria, ikiri ngento ngiri gakora. Ngeta bekena akaro nekekere ninchendi kichime.
Ngwa igo bwana. Ebana ngoro kuna procrastination.
Museke ndegwa kwa neki yani nchengere gatambukero. Amaruna nyegure na mabadira kirinjentike. Esa abona wanyibete kebute nekebe ngakibona okoro omuntu urukuru so kunyago wenchu nyakoli abante chogia yo kunyaga temite imbi yabire. Ubosamba amanyinga bwechinji.
Abono test yetugiruna asana via dabedenga you have been in this mountain too long. Are you happy where you are? If you are happy, stay there. If you are not happy where you are, take a move. Not tomorrow, now. Sorobi, kulikia tabu, ngebuka tiki ntokiene ngobato bangwari super. No kwa mwanga ngojakani the first chapter. Na kubeka mangana njire ndio nzi nga Arita so manginde kwa ngebe. Nyalebe so mango. Abantu bakore bintu bintu tali bantu babuga bono nyalando bane bali be karakari ali abana bakora bali parliament ali nginga karakari wagelina power. Abantu bakameno mwampi. Ebintu mbiri bitabe no twara intelligence yerengaki as long as you can understand. Ebintu mbiri byuka bikoba when you take a move and you be courageous.
Kurukunga Alfred Arita mwana tocho ko muri wetu kuli Ekioge hoteli kinga kimwe wetachicha hoteli ndoje ngapaka toka ni part 2 ngenjajire
anytime
ngenjajire mbororo
anytime for you.
Abandi bari banyagatanga nje warangu gona no mugondo bona take a step namba nirege ya live in properties abandi ko babwate migondo yabonyisa mugiri cya kitengera karode nyisa mugiri cya namangaro ri kuga keye giswago chime genda le show garden phase 2 namba yabo yes minigere 0746 babugeri yes mike namba bwate migondo ya 50 per 100 kwenda for 700,000 Kenya shillings choka phase 1 ya erate phase 2 mbanye bwate nige bere tangana university okunga KSC Kenya College of Accountants ya KCA sorry KCA na bere tangana KCA babugeri yes miona again namba yabonigere 0746 499 babugeri ini linyara ko kwenya dalibaga lyo kwenya rumo ngondo nyisemo chirichia ali akitengera. By the way, onye subscribe to our YouTube channel kindly minyokango gali click yatorege tamko yo koraba igo inteto kunyerboga ndenga yanda ngoli ke notification click ine ka tokora tripini bino nyaka boko binyora ingo ko rete kunyoliga no bwati bintu byokorarera nyetu bwati bintu byokorarera to kunyolinga ntu bwati nchiraga ya bwango mono kima kunyara ko boko nyoli bintu bikorento na top level niyo bali nyisa mojidi cha Ngong Road boko bali nyisa mojidi cha Westlands bali boko nyisa mojidi cha Mombasa Road agaba bwati bintu byose byokorarera so ukweta kanyara ko korarera bintu bitari ko make sense era bantu bwati duvet chingi yoko beke bitamba ibyo kunyara ko boko bitumaka yanto bantu kanyara ko boko korona kwenda kinga kwanyara ko boko bakiresim namba ya yes minigere 0799 422 559 abum top level. Sleep well, live well. Utochikuri kokura. Alfred Arita. Tena namba yawe yesim. Endelea kumoto okwana mwana yako na mwana.
Namba eba 0721 8487 and 27. Any time of the day apart from night I'll respond personally.
Utochikuri muri wetu kuri alero. Igonyege nete botambe ngaki umuntu nigagotiri umuntu ndi. Tena latika ne kiuma. Tena latika ne Ekioge. Umuntu nigagotiri umuntu ndi. Ngobwato gotiri. Mondeta nje kukusoro mutuli rastas.
Ekioge
Yetialie kende Ekioge gotiria Ekioge kende